So good afternoon, esteemed guests and members of the PSQ Nation. Welcome to ZTalks. Today we are thrilled to kick off the PSQ Quarterly Women Leadership Talk Series, a platform dedicated to celebrating and empowering women leaders who are shaping the future of innovation and industry. And today we proudly present our pilot episode dubbed as Breaking Barriers, Women Leaders in Emerging Industries, a powerful conversation with trailblazing women who are redefining leadership and innovation in emerging fields. And get ready to be inspired by their journeys, hear how they have shattered glass ceilings and learn actionable strategies to empower the next generation of leaders. And thank you so much for joining us as we celebrate resilience, inclusivity, and the unstoppable force of women in shaping the future. We are honored to have an exceptional lineup of trailblazers who has been at the forefront of the of advancing quality standards, challenging norms, redefining leadership, and inspiring inclusive growth in emerging technologies. First off, a visionary inventor and a leader. She is the president of the Filipino Women Investors and Innovators in the Philippines. Everybody, please welcome Dr. Ria Liza C. Hi, Ria. Say hi to the KFP Nation.
Good afternoon to everyone. Pleased to be here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ria. Now, another panel, one of our panelists, a driving force in global research and development. She is from Lahore College for Women University in Pakistan. Good morning to you, Dr. Moneeba Iftikhar.
Okay, good afternoon to Philippines and good morning, Pakistan.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moneeba. Our next panel is a powerhouse in data and AI transformation. She is the president for Data Analytics and AI Association with the Philippines. Please welcome Ms. Michelle Alarcon.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. Very excited for the discussion today.
Thank you so much, Ms. Michelle.
Good afternoon.
And a trailblazer in technology and education. She is the Chief Information Officer of Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Good afternoon, Ms. Arlene Romasanta.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and also to my co-panel members.
Good afternoon. And I will be guiding today's conversation. I am Dr. Zandra Maningas, the PSP Vice President of PQA Administration and PSP President-Elect. Together, our distinguished panel members will share their stories, insights, and strategies on breaking barriers, thriving in dynamic industries, and inspiring inclusive innovation. So whether you're here to learn, network, or be inspired, this session is for you. Get ready to discover how you too can lead boldly and create meaningful impact. And you can drop your questions in the chat box as we delve deeper into how women leaders are crafting the future of work. And later on, hopefully the number of participants will pick up as our PSP are getting into our Zoom space. So let's dive right into ZTalk. So the first question to the members of our panel, I'll just stop sharing. So we would like to know from our panelists, can you share your personal journey and what has inspired you to pursue leadership role in your respective fields?
Should I begin?
Go ahead, Dr. Moneeba.
Okay. My journey is a bit you sarcastic, and you may say that it just put a smile on you because I got married very early when I was studying, because in Pakistan at that time, because the society in Pakistan is man oriented, And the parents, they want their daughters to get educated with a good degree, and then it's better to get married first, and then later on see what should they do or not. And basically, if you are not having a professional degree like doctor or lawyer or engineer, then it's better to be a homemaker. So my parents decided me to get married first, and then I was having babies and sitting at home and working a little as a freelancer. But one day I met my school fellows, and I found that one was a doctor, other is an engineer, and they are serving. Someone is serving in US, someone is serving in Saudi. I was also a good student in my class with different extracurricular achievements. So that really put a guilt in me that what am I doing? I'm doing nothing productive. I'm just sitting at home taking care of my babies. When they will, beg, what will be in my hands? So then I decided to work with my husband in the family business, which was more like marketing and advertising related with the big clients of Pakistan. So I started writing content for them. Then later on, I joined them. But obviously, that was a home in-house business, so it was not fun to work over there. And eventually, while when I was working, I found that my knowledge and the thing which I learned in mass media study seems to be obsoleted, because the arrival of the digital media made it and the social media that made me to
Oh, I think we lost her a bit. So Dr. Moneeba is working in Lahore College University. This is an all women university. So interesting that even though in Pakistan there's still a notion on how women works in the country. So we would like to venture on that one. So while waiting for Dr. Maniba, maybe others can explore can share on how are you on your personal journey on on what has inspired you to be on your respective roles.
Yeah, I can share, Doc Sandra.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Monica.
Yes, to everyone, in my background, I'm a civil engineer and a materials engineer. So when I was very young, I was already exposed in construction of high-rise building, roads, and different infrastructure. But then again, there's this passion in me that I really wanted to teach, and so I juggle teaching between teaching and construction. And in teaching, I have this serendipity where I fell in love with research. So when
oh,
I'm doing research, I'm handling a lot of research projects. I don't want students always complaining about how hard thesis is. So what I did is to also perform my own research. And that's the beginning of me leveling up from research to innovation. That's when I had my invention. So I've had my own construction materials that I offer in the market, and at the same time, I also am doing as director of research and innovation in the university. So I'm into mentorship. You know what I did is really I have to give all my extra time to my mentees. That includes faculty and administrators and as well as students. Until such time that apparently I become a very active in advocating the scientific community, and then I become an appointee of the President of the Philippines. And now I am an executive member of the
oh.
National Innovation Council. As an executive member, representative of the scientific community. On a very national scale, this gives me a bit of more bigger scale of our responsibility and leadership. And also being a president of the Filipino women, this is now when I find that there's challenge in handling an all female organization as compared to those organizations that you have mixed gender. And as of this moment, I am actually aspiring for a bigger voice because I'm into policy making when it comes to innovation. I plan of entering politics actually, Doc Sandra. I am the first nominee of the
Oh.
Babae Ako para sa Bayan, and this will give
Wow, this coming election,
women.
ma'am?
Yeah, this coming
Wow,
election.
that's nice.
Yeah, serendipity, it's God's will. The voice that I represented becomes bigger and bigger, and now it's more inclusive. So that's my journey in a nutshell.
Well, ma'am, follow-up question. How has this trust influenced your approach to leadership? Because you have been trusted by national agencies as a woman in your field. So how has this trust influenced your approach to leadership and innovation?
It changed because I used to be handling universities. I had to be handling projects on a very small scale, but not like a national university. Well, I used to be 10 years as a director for research and innovation. We have multiple campuses. So
Mhm.
there's this also bigger, more national university as a national scale because we have several campuses. But when it comes to serving the government as an executive member, I now go to grassroots. This is when I now can feel what those people in the outskirts of our of the community are feeling, how innovation had been, being practiced by fishermen, farmers, and even those in the mining. So right now my perspective is very different, um, because I can easily tell the problems right now that I wanted to to uh, what you call this, to address. I just would like to take this opportunity in my submersion to the community, and the grassroots of innovators. There are two very sad realities. Number one, only few of those that have patents or that had intellectual property protection uh, technologies are commercially available. And then number two, only few of those commercially available are certified. Example, by certifying body, example, FDA and all the likes. Therefore, I conclude that most of our products really are in the black market. But I coined the black market into an incubation thing. So, so these are things that had to be addressed as soon as possible for economic growth.
Oh, those are interesting points, ma'am, Dr. Ria. Now we have Dr. Moneeba back. You can continue, ma'am.
Okay, cut short that I started my master's classes and to learn more about research, and then I found it more significant and to pursue the research in the market and also in the fundamental side. And then I graduated as a gold medalist and been offered a role of a teacher in my university. So this was actually the thing that my own potentials, my guilty, and my friends who were so, at that time, and still they are flourishing in their professional fields. They were my main inspiration to pursue a career. And today I'm realizing the God is being so kind that I am also working in the industry as a marketing expert, brand consultant, market researcher, and also teaching my students and provide them a hand-on experience in the academia. And I'm also started some research projects with some good organizations globally. So this is the whole story.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moneeba. Here in the Philippines, women now have played a significant role in the workplace and in society. We are now recognizing high gender equality compared to other nations in Asia. I'm just wondering, how has your experience been like as a woman in Pakistan?
Sorry, can you please repeat, Razendra, because there was a pause in your question.
What was your experience like being as a woman in Pakistan? How were you able to navigate all the expectations as a woman, particularly in your country? Oh, I think we lost Dr. Madiba again. Okay, so moving forward, let's just wait for her to get back on board. So, Ma'am Michelle, you may share your personal journey.
Yeah, I actually was going to suggest that I go last, and I will explain later why. Sorry, Miss
Okay,
Arlene. Can you go first?
go. Go
All
ahead,
right. Thank you
Charlene.
for that, Michelle. I know you'll have the final uh, sharing for your journey. For me, it's so simple, no? Beginning from the schooling, I really chose the course on ICT. So at first, I do not know what lies ahead, no? Because that time it's still booming, no? The ICT industry is not yet that um uh it's not yet popular in the Philippines. But during that time, I still go on with my studies, and as I go along, I find it very interesting, and I am amazed and with the day-to-day activities in the school. But I noticed that most of my classmates are men, right?
Mhm.
So there are a few women who took up those courses because it's really difficult, no? And there are different criteria from the school, no, as implemented by the school. There are stringent criteria on how to maintain your grades, and there is a high maintaining grades actually for you to stay in that college. No, if not, you will be kicked out and you have to find another course. So that's the thing, that's the usual thing that we experience, no, as a college student. So I go along with my colleagues, no, whether men and women, and I work with them. I do self-studies as well, group studies, and of course, we have different type of professors, no. I have also been a professor in multiple schools, no. And I told myself that I will not go into that career if I am not a worthy professor, you know. And so I go on with that course, and I find it really fascinating whenever I do some programs, and I make it work, no? So it's really exhausting when it comes to thinking, no? When you do your when you're talking with the machine, it's really language, no, that you talk with the machine, no? And yeah, it's quite challenging, but then I pursued that career. And so when I graduated, I actually took up another course. I told myself that I have to have an edge from the other applicants, no? Because what we have in the curriculum does not necessarily matches what is needed in the industry. So I took up another course. I equipped myself to be to have more advantage to other applicants. So whether I am not in the prime school, no, before there is a discrimination, no, when it comes to hiring, they prefer the top four schools, no, but then that is also one thing that I have to beat, no, as one of the many graduates of ICT course. And so from there, I really took up a job that is aligned with my course. No, I did not take chances on other other jobs. So I took up a job that is really aligned with ICT. And so I pursue my career on that path, no, until I gain experience for so many years. And so until now, I was given the chance and the trust to be the CIO. Now I have been performing a CIO role in the multiple companies I have served with, and most of them are government agencies. And so I am privileged to serve our Filipino people and of course the government. And until now, I am here because of the passion. No, I have the passion to serve, and I have the passion to see that the lives of the people are improving because of the technology intervention that we are pushing and implementing. So my heart is there, and that's one big criteria for I think not only for women but for everybody else. So for you to keep moving and strive hard and thrive in this career, you really have the passion and you really have the heart. to serve and to use all your knowledge and experience to make use of the ICT in the everyday lives of Filipinos and of course all our clients. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Congratulations on your various achievements and becoming as Chief Information Officer of various government institutions. And you have noted that the commitment, the commitment, the passion, this will really help women grow in these challenging fields. Thank you so
Thank
much, Ma'am
you.
Arlene, for sharing that one. How about you, Ma'am Michelle?
Okay, so I will explain why I had to be the last. And
Okay.
typically, which is a good thing, right? Because the usual narrative of women in thriving in technology, like my peers over here, is that they had to overcome a common challenge, which is getting into a male dominated space and
Mhm.
really striving and obviously overcoming these challenges. So although I did go through the same path eventually. My backstory is that I come from a family where I don't have any brothers, and there's six of us girls. And so imagine six noisy girls trying to be disciplined by one father. So you can imagine not just the noise, but the level of actually, I would say, competition, a lot of fights over small things, right? So I learned that as early as then, no, being exposed to five siblings that are girls. I grew up in a world where I thought girls rule the world. So my backstory is coming from that as a norm, and I would that's the reason why I really am motivated to share my story more, because my perspective growing up like that, it really shaped me. I felt that I didn't have any limits. No one was telling me that there is bawal, there is only boys can do this. I can only play with Barbie dolls and so on. No one told me that, right? Because we're all girls in the family, and well, I hate to say it, but my mother overpowered my father, right? So, it's really a different kind of environment. And if we had all our girls expose themselves to this kind of environment, or have all this all the people around them just rallying them on and saying there's no limit for you, just go ahead and pursue your passion. Everyone believes in a woman or in a girl. I think, I think I did fine, right? So it only got a bit, I guess, more real to me when I entered the corporate world, and then I was now battling with the big boys club at corporations. That and that's now the common backstory of all these women thriving in tech. Um, it was to be more concrete. You get, even if you were excelling, I think the more that they sort of become conscious that you are a woman when you are
Mhm.
excelling. 'Di ba?
Mhm.
Parang sabi nila ay ano 'yun, parang pinupukol yung hinog na bunga, right?
Itik sa bunga.
Hitik-hitik sa bunga 'yun.
Oh.
Yeah, agree,
So, the more
agree.
that you are hitik na, doon ka pa pupukulin, no? So,
Mhm.
I just got their attention because I was already excelling. So before, they didn't mind if there was another manager who was a woman. They didn't mind that. But when you were sort of beating them in their own game, that's when it got a bit, not just
Mhm.
competitive, but you hear comments like, "Wag mo naman masyadong galingan." Yung gano'n, 'di ba? Bakit, 'di ba? So, it was now being exposed to an environment that's putting limits on you, which was I was not really used to, right? So the more that I got challenged and said, why? You start asking these questions, and there were no logical answers. So you
Mhm.
just fight it out and continue how you do it. And then I realized that I was lucky enough to grow up in an environment in school, not just my home, but also in school. I took my high school in a science high school. So
Mhm.
it's a STEM, obviously it's a STEM track, but I counted because I asked for the directory, and I'm a data person. I asked for the actual, so that I can count how many women were there in my batch. There were like 58% women in a STEM
That's
high
nice.
school, right? In
Mm-hmm.
in my day, right? Not even in this generation, in my day. So again, I thought this was normal. I go into the university, I take up statistics, and it's also something that people would think only those who good at math are there, and therefore boys, right? Hindi rin. There were 60% of us who are women. So again, I felt,
Mm-hmm.
this is normal. So only when people start telling you that you have limits, that's the only time that you start to doubt yourself. But how we handle self-doubt is I think this is still something that we can teach the young girls, right? First of all, there should be no self-doubt, right? But in the event that they do doubt themselves, they should be, surrounding themselves with role models, aside from our colleagues here, obviously, watching them in webinars and so on. But find these women role models in their day-to-day lives, in school, at work. Find mentors, even not directly their boss. And I think that's really key. When I, again, no, back to my personal journey, I didn't have those, but yun nga, baka it was a special scenario for me, right? I just thrived on because I was just challenged by all these men, right? But realizing that it may be a special case, so I was very willing to be a co-founder to this foundation called For the Women Foundation. So aside from the association that I am in, which is AAP, I'm also co-founder for the Women Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that provides free data science scholarship to underprivileged women. And this is really self-doubting girls, but high potential, didn't have the network, didn't have the financial means to actually upskill themselves. You find them, and then, diamonds in the rough, you just become a mentor to them, expose them to a very supportive environment like For the Women Foundation and its partners. And so far, so we are currently in batch 10, and we have there's been more than 500 scholars that graduated from the program who are now thriving as data analysts, data scientists, right? So I'll stop here because there's more that I can share, but just, with that initial journey, so that, I can sort of contrast my backstory. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing that one. It's truly inspiring to hear that perspective, specifically, especially that the world, that your area is often dominated by male leadership, and the idea that girls rule is a powerful reminder to everyone that women have limitless potential, and that it's important we recognize our own resilience, we recognize our own strengths, and we need to have that determination. These are the qualities that can really break barriers. And being challenged by males in a male dominated environment, these will really be both a test and a source of growth for all the women out there. Yes, while it may be difficult, we have to learn to use those challenges as a motivation to prove ourselves, to prove that there's no gender in all our in any fields, right? Thank you so much for sharing that, Michelle. And now, since you have touched already on the male dominated field, and you have shared some insights already on how are you overcoming them, how do you think, now moving on to the next question, how do you think your own fields, your respective fields, global research for Dr. Moneeba and Dr. Ria, technology and innovation for Ma'am Arlene, analytics and innovation for Ma'am Michelle, how do you think these areas can create more opportunities for women to excel and lead?
Sandra.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to add as well that my industry, construction and manufacture, is quite different. While we are telling about male-dominated industries, but I'm talking about physical comparison
Mhm.
between the capabilities of a woman and a man. For instance, me when I was working in a high-rise building, they thought that I cannot go up to 32nd floor by my feet, and or even go into like temporary elevators, Example, you have to pass through a temporary bridge of about 3 stories high, and you cannot wear just whatever clothes you can wear because you're with construction workers. And also, you are all oftenly, if you're beautiful, if you're some a bit attractive, maybe not, no, but you're a woman, you are typically receiving indecent proposals. I mean, and a lot more. No, I'm talking also of promotion. Promotion is hard whenever male are in the picture. You see, these are some challenges in a male-dominated industries. That's why at some point in time, I come to dig deep on women empowerment, because not because you excel in a male-dominated industry means you're already women empowered. No, you have to dig deep on how you really battle all those challenges. Like, how do you may remain, example, you remain you remain tough against all the external forces that these men are doing to you. Example, using of foul words, shouting where you're not supposed to be, receiving all those kinds of treatment. Okay, because when work is on full blast, when everybody's so busy and we have concreting and all of those stuff, everybody seems to be all on hot temper, and so that's the words now of girls and boys are the same. And you have to, as a girl, how do you manage the challenge? How do you face this challenge? Number one, a girl needs to learn the men's language. I mean, if you are in a male dominated industry, you cannot be sensitive. You have to accept it and be a professional in a way of handling it. Example,
Yeah.
somebody touches
Yeah.
you, you have to be professional handling those things. Now, this is, of course, in manufacturing, etc. All of these example, they're not properly dressed. How am I going to express myself? Yeah, some women will say, "Oh, I have to wear this sexy clothes. Why? Because I earn it. I'm the manager. I'm the owner of this company, and so I can wear this." So, in other words, is it because of your position that people can now respect you because of how you dress and behave, howsoever? But in my opinion, we cannot excuse men of insulting women or advances to women because simply of the things they wear or why they are not or what not. Okay. Now, facing these challenges means a girl really need to be very equipped technically. Technically, you have to overpower them. You have to let them know that hey, I know better than you. Or sometimes those technically speaking, these people have multiple years of experience will always belittle the young female because they're old, they're wise. So sabihin nila, they'll say, oh, you're old, I'm going home and just you're going your way, going there. So typically, um, honing your skills, do your homework every day. Learn the task, learn the man's task, and you can only know the man's task from a man. Example, I know what is the task tomorrow. So today I have to consult all the men engineers or those older than me, and I have to learn it. So tomorrow, when I go to the job site, I know what I have to do. When men knows what you're doing, they will stop the advances. They will stop the so-called, how you call it? We are women are called, what you call this? Or second class citizen, right? And when it comes to invention, I saw that most of the female, because I'm the president of the Filipino women, most are doing researches on food and health because of women, right? They cook, they do their formulation, etc. We need more women doing technical researches, and we also need women doing more of this brick and mortar. I am not against AI or Internet of Things, etc. But when I talk of tech, I talk of everything and including the brick and mortar thing. But while others can modify their model into brick and mortar together with an AI application or a system that goes along with brick and mortar. So we need more STEM people. to really put into technology to what to technology more of this kind of products being should be um, technical products should be introduced by women. We need more women innovators.
Thank you so much for sharing that one, Dr. Lisa. So from her point, as mentioned, we need to have more women in STEM. These are essential to creating opportunities and driving innovation. And when women bring their unique perspective to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, this will enrich problem solving and hopefully it will foster as well creativity. So it will, the more women in STEM, the greater the potential for breakthroughs and solutions that would really reflect the needs of this diverse society. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ma'am Ria. For Dr. Moneeba, I'd like to go back to my question a while ago because as I have mentioned, here in the Philippines, women have long played a significant role in the workforce and the society. And our country is also recognized for relatively high gender equality compared to other nations in Asia. So I'd like to know what has been your experience as a woman there in Pakistan?
Okay, well, the situation of Pakistan is quite similar with
Mm.
Philippines because here we have also the man-dominating society, and the psyche of the public in Pakistan is still goes with the man domination. That the engineering, the technology, these are the fields for the men. For the last few years, due to the inculcation of the digital media and the public awareness, has done a change in the public mind, and now the STEM education is getting popularity in Pakistan as well. Now, to get the education, to get into the field is not a problem now, but to get settled among the main dominated workplace is a challenge to the women. And I personally I've seen that the girls who are well equipped with all these skills and technology based and technology oriented stuff are now encountering men more with their intelligence, and that is creating an insecurity in their minds. And for that
Mm.
reason, this jealousy and this competition, they try to submiss the women, and not only at the workplace. The harassment sometimes becomes very common. It's not only the sexual harassment, but sometimes it's a mental harassment. The woman has been poked up by them. They just do a disturbance while she works. And then sometimes the cyberbullying becomes very important. They try to reach to their digital account and then try to disturb her over there, and then the hacking and even all these things happen in a country like Pakistan. But the one good thing is that recently, I live in Punjab, the state, one of the states of Pakistan, which is more developed. The administrator of that state is first time in the history of Pakistan is a woman, and she's a very strong woman, and she has introduced many security based applications, forums. Even we have a women safety app in our phones that if we press that app within a minute or 2 minutes, you will be contacted by the women police, that and your location has already been traced by them, that where are you standing right now. So now it has given a confidence to the women, especially in Punjab, that they know that the administrator is a woman, she is running a big province. uh, Now I think that has given a confidence at one side, and secondly the percentage of the women are more into the jobs field, and the males are more oriented towards the entrepreneurship. So the percentage at the workplace has gradually been increasing, and psychologically it is a confidence for the women. And now the situation in the Pakistan is improving, but it's not the overall situation. We have some other regions where the tribal territories, and where the law and order is not very strict. there are certain stereotype mentality occurs, but when I talk about to the central Pakistan, the things are now changing. And I believe that things will be better. But now, the last thing I want to say, that the women should herself know that where what should be her barriers, and she has to learn more to overcome that barrier, but in a decent way, to get into the conflict, to fight the people means you are wasting your time and energies. If someone is obstacle, if someone is disturbing it, the better thing is that to the best revenge is the productivity, success. Don't bother anything, just do your work, be confident, and put your energies for your productivity. So this is actually I do. So that's why, and it's very success. It's my success that I don't bother that what the men are doing after me and what they are doing. I now get to learn that if I am pursuing something, how to protect myself, how to make my way straight. And this is the thing that you have to be very, very conscious. And I just, Miss Ria was very much right that it's also you, that you know to upgrade yourself and to be confident that you should know that I know everything and I am learning everything and I'm better, I'm best. So no one can dare to stop me. I am unstoppable. This is my
Wow.
side from Pakistan. Yes, this is a mindset now the Pakistani girls are having, that I'm unstoppable.
Thank you so much, Moneeba. Women's empowerment in Pakistan, I think, is making significant strides, as you have mentioned, Dr. Moneeba. Though there are cultural and societal challenges, as you have mentioned, many women are breaking through barriers in different sectors. And one concrete example is that administrator that you have mentioned. So I think that empowerment comes from providing these women the access to resources, the access to opportunities, and the support system that will enable them to thrive. And it's good. I agree with you that women should fight for their rightful place by embracing confidence and maintaining productivity rather than fighting them. We have to show them that you have that you are worthy, you have that skills, you have that ability, that you can take on so many challenges and speak up for your environment. So thank you so much, Dr. Manila, for sharing that one. Arlene or Michelle, do you have anything to share about how can we create more opportunities for women?
Okay. Thank you. No, I think Michelle would also do the last last sharing. So I really admire Dr. Ria and of course Dr. Moneeba, especially in Pakistan. I know it's quite challenging for women to thrive, no, and because of the environment, no, and the thing that you shared, no, and I really admire your zeal to really fight for women's rights. For me, I can just share that being a woman in this field, no, in the field of ICT, I find myself working with men, right? Since they are dominated by men. ICT is dominated by men, no, and men leaders. But as a colleague, no, while working in the ICT, as I step up the ladder into a leader, men became my allies. No,
Mhm.
it in terms of competition, I do not see them as competitor. I see them as partners. So they are allies because we share knowledge, experience, and information in terms of different aspects and different the whole gamut of managing ICT. Because you can really took advantage of that network and connection with men because we don't have the monopoly of knowledge in troubleshooting, in network administration, in user experience, in system deployment and system design. So all of these things, we can always share knowledge. So in the environment that I grew up, no, in terms of my career, there is always a group, no, that is composed of both men and women. As I said, it's dominated by men, but I can thrive in that because just like Michelle, it's contrary to my situation. At first, I was the only girl, no, among the siblings. No, ako naman ang isa lang sa mga girls. So most of my siblings are boys. So if they do boxing, I do boxing. If they do basketball, I do basketball. And so, but my mother see to it that if they are wearing pants, I wear a dress. No,
Mhm.
so it was really tailored for us. No, my mother would ask for a tailor to really uh, craft a pants or a jumper for my siblings, no, yung mga brother ko. And then I would always have my own style of dress, no. So just to distinguish that I have different gender from them. So, but then of course, I think that developed my strong personality. So as a
Mhm.
woman, since I do boxing as well, you know, I developed my strong personality, and that I took that from my brothers. No? So I think that's one good trait or character that we have to have, no, in whatever career that we have. So it's really you have to be strong because there are challenges, there are difficulties, and of course, ang pinakamahirap for me is yung political. No,
Mhm.
wala kang laban doon. So if
That's true.
somebody, yeah, if somebody is selected because they are connected or they are close to the appointing authority,
Mhm.
then that's another thing. But for me,
Mhm.
I can always say that I fight them with my credentials. So what I
Mhm.
do is to do better every day. So I look
Mhm.
at myself, I look at my environment in the ICT fields, what are the trends? I have to keep abreast of that. I have to keep myself, no, abreast with the latest technology. So I will not be left behind. So whether men and women, it's really about what you know and what you can offer. So that's it. I do not consider them competitor or um, rivals, but I consider them as partners. And I also exchange knowledge and wisdom with them, no, so that I could also learn from this men. No,
Mhm.
yun yung experience ko talaga. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arlene. So,
Mm.
looking at men as ally in this kind of industry, I think is also vital for creating an inclusive and supporting environment. And as you have mentioned, you grew up with brothers, unlike Mom Michelle, she grew up with sisters. So that provides you a
Okay,
unique perspective.
one
Go
thing
ahead,
I
Doc.
just want to add, just one thing that she's right that they become your allies, but when they have security that you are not a competitor. The people who don't work with me, one of the colleagues who's also attending this conference, Mr. Khalid Hussain, who was with us in Philippines, the people who know that we are not the competitors, they are so supportive. They take care of you, respect you, give you opportunities. But the people who work, especially the men who work around you, they are a challenge for you. So this thing I want to make clear that partially she's right.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Moneeba. So when you are working together, they will really support you. You know, they will keep you continuously learning and improving in your field, and they will also help you whenever you have setbacks. So, and then as I'm saying a while ago, um, when you grow up with different environments, like Mom Arlene, she grew up with brothers, so that provides her a unique perspective on gender equality and resilience. And she's also what I took note from her is also building your credentials as a woman. So that would prove your expertise that you have gained enough experience and that you are also continually striving for growth. How about you, Mama Michelle? Yeah, Ma'am Michelle, go ahead.
Yeah, all everyone's strategy, I guess, agree to all those, and we have to try whatever works, and as well as what is fitting to our personality, because not everyone is strong as Doc Ria and Doc Moneeba, right? It depends on our personality, right? But what I also give as an advice to young girls is to create more opportunities for women, and not just in STEM, in tech, in wherever field that they want to be part of, but especially to those who feel that they don't have a place because just because they're a girl or a woman. My strategy, and what has really been what I've been living as for me, is to be an example as a woman leader. So we have to create more women leaders, because it is not the man or the woman who creates opportunities. It is the leader that creates opportunities. So we have to vie for that spot. How do you become a leader? The best way is for you to excel in your field first. So girls, study hard, take your craft seriously. Hindi pwedeng rara go girl lang tayo, right? It's not that's not what it takes to have self-confidence. Get your confidence from excelling in whatever you're doing, and that's what's going to propel you to forward, right? And then be ready for this competition that is in the real world, right? But if we also think about, particularly in my space, in our, actually not just my space, but everyone's space right now that we live in, which is the AI era, right? The more that I amplify this message of the need for more women to be in the AI space, because we need to ensure, we're the only ones who can ensure that the AI systems will be inclusive, gender inclusive, right? Who will design these systems, right? It's not necessarily we're saying that you need to be an AI engineer so that you can create these systems. Not just that. The ones who plan and design what AI systems will actually be meant for, there should be a woman in that, in that team. For those who are deploying AI systems, how they need to be used, how they're actually used, there has to be a woman in that team. And not just women, but it has to be a very gender diverse team as well. Because we have to be looking out for everyone who will be a stakeholder to these AI systems. So it translates even to that. So creating opportunities, leadership opportunities, particularly for women, that is a strategy that can help us scale, because one woman leads, it opens the doors for the rest of the women to come in.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing that. So we really have to encourage more women to enter and thrive in this AI environment, because that is the only way we can ensure that this technology that we are developing will really serve everyone equally, and that this will really positively impact all aspects of society, all genders of the society. Thank you so much for that one, Ms. Michelle. A while ago, the Korea and Ma'am Michelle mentioned that they have been serving foundation for women, and I'm sure that Arlene also and Dr. Moneeba has have helped or have mentored women in various fields. So the question is, can you discuss any specific initiatives or policies that have helped to promote gender equality in your industry, and what do you think needs to be done?
Okay, let me
Anyone can
be the
start? Go
first to
ahead.
share. Yeah.
Go ahead, Miss
Oo.
Eileen.
Yeah, in the government, we have these gender development programs, and this is
Mhm.
part of of course, the Sustainable Development Goals as well of the UN. And as part of the government program, we are all required to um, consider the inclusivity of all our activities. It means that all men and women should be beneficiaries of our programs and projects. So in terms of the ICT, it's really non-biased. No? Most of our programs could benefit men, women, and all the other marginalized sectors like PWDs as well. So it's really about the approach and the methodology that you have to use so that you have to ensure that they will really personally benefit from the system or the projects that you will implement. So it's whether it's on the infrastructure, whether on the systems or other programs, it's always men and women, and they are both treated equally. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Arlene. Knowing that the
Uh,
government, go ahead, Dr. Padipa, would you like to
uh,
share something?
Yeah, as I've already told you that the trend in Pakistan is now changing, and now government is very much involved for the women because we have produced many great females who have done a lot in different fields, especially in science and technology. Even we had the Minister of Information and Technology as a woman, and it was a woman in the previous government. So what actually there are certain initiatives that have been taken, for example, different educational programs, different quotas where women are more privileged. Even the Punjab government has introduced different vehicle schemes, and only the women girls will be able to apply for the scooties, for the motorbikes, so that they can safely go to their workplaces. And then the national plan of action on women is now being introduced. Women entrepreneurship initiatives with the low interest loans, and then different incubation centers have been approved by the government. 10%, as I've told you, that quota is for the women in the federal and provincial government. There are some income support programs for the old and unemployed women who don't have any guardian for them. But I think that this is the one side of the picture. Government, according to its socio-economic issues, can do whatever it can. It's not the complete thing. I think the girls themselves need to know the strategies. The skill can never be failed. Education obviously is very important, but it's not only the education. It should be equipped with the skill. Then build your networks. It's not difficult now. I mean, we are connected globally, sitting long from the long miles in distance. We are communicating. These are the networking. They really pay off. And then self advocacy is very important. You should have a confidence to negotiate about your salary, seek leadership opportunities. Why you work and feel yourself as a vulnerable person. So, and then confident and resilience. These are the keys and the tools that if a person develops within the self, I think that a single opportunity will be yours. And if there is no opportunity, create your opportunity with your skill. Be a digital entrepreneur and just glow and shine. So this is, I believe that it should be this. And then the rest the government are doing, I think they should do more. So this is all about.
Thank you so much,
San.
Dr. Moneeba. Go ahead, Ma'am Arlene.
Mm-mm. Yeah, thank you, Miss Sandra. I would just like to add, no, na to all our women who are listening right now, especially the young women, while I was working, no, I've been working for so many years now. Huwag niyo na alamin yung edad ko, ha? Pero, what I wanted to share is that, while I was working, I also do some part-times. No, I equip myself with a lot of things, no, and I do some teaching on college, different colleges, no, nandyan. Iba't ibang colleges yung I engage with. And then, of course, I have different learning in that area. No, that is a part-time for me. I have a full-time job as an ICT professional, but I also do teaching on the ICT field as well. Now, I serve as a professor in some of the universities teaching ICT subjects. And of course, aside from that, I also serve as a technical panel in other organizations where I evaluate ICT projects. No,
Mhm.
I do assessment of ICT projects. And aside from that, I am also engaged as auditor of other organizations like research organizations, but of course with insights on ICT. Now, aside from that, I also serve as author of virtual learning materials. Now, those are the kinds of engagement that you can also be creative. No, you cannot you can, if you have a lot of talent, go on with that. No, invest some time on some more learning, apply those learnings through those engagements and opportunities. So that is one way that you create opportunities for yourselves. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Arlene, for sharing that one. So, um, as mentioned, we have to be creative in building our credentials, and also in engaging in community activities. These are powerful way to develop leaders, to develop our own leadership skills, to develop our communication skills and problem solving skills while we are all contributing to meaningful causes. Thank you so much, Miss Arlene. How about you, Ma'am Michelle?
Yeah, the question on policies, right? So particularly
Mhm.
for government, I think we have the best resources here who can speak for those. We do have very well written laws, Magna Carta for women and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But really, I question, who's checking, right, for compliance. But
Mhm.
yeah, sige, that's public sector. Hindi ko makikialam dyan. On the private sector side, so particularly for technology industries, analytics, data, AI industries, right? There's really, none per se that's like cast in iron and you have to follow, right? I think it's more um like a reputation thing, right? Or mga parang, oy, si ganito, this company is like an all-female AI team. Wow,
Mhm.
it's an
Nice.
aspirational ano. I mean, yeah, I think it's more that's driving private companies. And
Mhm.
it is kind of bad because it is thought of as a fad, or it's trendy to have women leaders, women in tech leaders, right? So but it kind of pays off because at least we get a shot, right? Or at least more
Mhm.
girls have a shot at these positions. But if it is only like what we call parang female token speaker in an event, halatang
Mhm.
halata, 'di ba? Kita nyo naman, So what I'm trying to say is it's good to have really, you know, good, really sincere and true models for companies when it comes to showcasing the diversity in their leadership teams. And in tech, so far, I have met a lot of these women leaders in tech, right? Aside from, the ones who are in our panel, right? I make sure that I get to know them, and we can find ways to work together to uh, increase the number of women in the field, and in fact, even come up with other initiatives, not necessarily policies, right? Because
Mhm.
policies, you know, you don't really know who's going to impose that, right? But if it becomes a movement, right? If it becomes an initiative, something that people feel is uh, trendy, right? Um, let's do it. There's no bad press, as they say, right? But
Mhm.
people need to be aware at least. So just one maybe petty thing, like in your social media feeds, particularly in LinkedIn, at the end of an event and people post pictures of the speakers and panelists, right? Every time I see a picture that doesn't have a woman in the panel, and it is technology, because my feed is usually tech stuff, right? As in talaga, you just, you know, uh, it's really, really, it's 2024, and you still can't find a CIO, a female CIO, to be part of your panel. I mean, really, you can find anyone in cybersecurity na babae. Ayun, yung parang, and I put somehow the sort of the blame on the organizer, because then you're not looking enough, or you're just relying on, the bigger names. But you have to be more, each one of us, we have to be more deliberate with selecting who's going to be in front, because social media, web platforms, in general, they're so powerful that that is the message in front of these young kids right now, right?
Mhm.
So if wala silang nakikitang babae, they will say, hindi pala ako pwede, right?
Mhm.
But if they see that it's a norm, that all panels about AI, about data, about cybersecurity, about manufacturing, about anything, there's always at least one woman there. It becomes a
Mhm.
norm, right? So that's how they also get to be shaped, no? Their minds get to be shaped. So I hope that it's not necessarily a policy, pero I don't know if I'm saying that we should have a shame campaign for these things, but I think we should at least be very conscious of small things like this.
Yes. So I agree. I totally agree with you, Ma'am Michelle, because if there is a woman in the panel, that would bring a unique insight. That being biased, but that would have a woman can share a unique experience that could resonate with a much larger audience, and that could also inspire change. And we also have to provide women that platform wherein they could also empower female leaders, as you have mentioned, Ma'am Michelle, a while ago. So thank you so much for all those sharing. And one last question.
Okay. Excuse me, Sandra.
Go ahead, Zia.
Yeah, because we're talking about policies, and this is an opportune time for the people that are attending this seminar to know how this policy that how the National Innovation Agenda, or the Philippine
Mhm.
Innovation Act, Republic Act 11290, where I am one of the executive members. It's a new law, and according to this law, one of the executive member must be a woman, and I'm fortunate enough to be one of those, because we're two women representing the scientific community. I'd like to let you know that the Innovation Act has the gender lens, the inclusivity lens. The reason primarily that a woman should be there is, of course, there's the different branding or taste when a woman is entered into the picture. I am representing the scientific community, and therefore everyone in this room can talk to us and let us know all our barriers. The reason why we have the so-called Philippine Innovation Act is because we wanted to harmonize the law. We are seeing a lot of agency, example, Department of Science Technology, or even DILG, DNR, DOST, have all those innovation agenda overlapping, and we are in the process of harmonizing everything so that we can elevate the global competitiveness of our MSMEs. And I actually agree with Dr. Moneeba that the Innovation Act is putting the entrepreneurship at the middle of the dynamic innovation ecosystem. And if you are an innovator, this also need to know that there's this law called Republic Act 7459. This is the Inventors Incentive Act. And now we are on the process of, what you call this, improving it, giving special privileges to all women-led, women-owned MSMEs and innovations, because whether they like it or not, we need to have equal sharing in funding and in all kinds of initiatives. But this is a government initiative. You have to know that we give loans, National Innovation Council have we do funding, we do innovation funding, of course, etc. And we give, being there, give emphasis to our female honors. But these are government. There is also a private sector initiative, and for everyone's information, I am actually introducing it as a private initiative, the Purple Economy, where in terms of initiatives, everything that has we do is a color mindset. It's a color mindset, the impact of what we're doing. And so I am actually putting into a big circle all the stakeholders into innovation, whether that be government or private or university or whatsoever, so that we link each other. And when we link each other, that's more become powerful. But purple is a women color because purple is care. And when you have this care concept, that purple mind will give impact, immeasurable impact on the things that we are doing. So please try to to consider that there's still hope. I know that some people may not be that hopeful anymore to all the initiative that the government is doing because it's very bureaucratic. But we are here to help you craft laws, policies. At least the highest is an executive order. If there is really a need for us to talk about barriers on how we can move forward in terms of innovation and economic progress, we can help you out, guys. And we go straight to the table with the president of the Philippines. By the way, the National Innovation Council has 25 members. The chairman is the president of the Philippines. The vice chair is the secretary of NEDA, and 16 government institutions. Of course, that to include Ma'am Arlene's institution. I think that's the DNR, right? DNR, yeah, yeah, is one of them. And a lot
Yes.
more. And the 7 executive member as private sector representatives. So we have a hope. We have a hope to advance women.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Ms. Ria. Doc Ria, having an
Thank you.
executive member representing the scientific community, particularly in that innovation council, is really essential for driving forward thinking initiatives and hopefully fostering collaboration between research, industry, and policy making. And I admire the purple movement. I love the color. That is a powerful symbol of empowerment, equality, and solidarity. And it's a reminder that women's rights and voices must be heard and their contributions to society must be recognized. And wow, that is truly wonderful. What an incredible journey we've shared today. And I'm very, very much thankful to our speakers, Doc Ria, Ma'am Michelle, Ma'am Arlene, Doc Moneeba, for your empowering stories and your invaluable insights. And now we open the floor for one of the most exciting parts of our program, the question and answer. So this is the chance for our um, uh, participants to give question, explore ideas that resonate with you, whether it's about your journey or expertise or strategies that you would like to share. So anyone can, uh, you can raise your hand or you can type your increase or you may want to share your stories in the chat box and we want to get as many as we can. Anyone would like to share? So there are some questions here, like from Mr. Rodeo Villanueva from San Pablo City. The question was, what are some common barriers women face seeking opportunities, seeking leadership roles in the emerging industry? So Ma'am Arlene answered, most common is the political influence, but may I know the insights from the other? Again, the question is, what are some common barriers women face when seeking leadership roles?
I think we have already discussed this in a very
Yes.
detail according to our
Mm-hmm.
contextual background.
Mm-hmm.
But I think so that in many countries, when I talk about South Asia, in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, sometimes the parents become so restrictive and they don't let their female girls and child to work out. As I've already told you, when I was studying, even my parents were highly qualified, but there was a norm in the society that the girl should get married at the age of 19 and 20. It's her security that she should be at her husband's place and he would be the guardian for all the livelihood. These are sometimes the barriers the women had. And I'm thankful to my husband that when he thought that I could be uh, an empowered woman, he let a chance for me to flourish. But most of the time it doesn't happen. So I think so the primary barrier in many countries who are stereotyped and patriarchal is that the parents themselves become the barrier, and rest I think that we have discussed already.
Mm. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Moneeba. Yeah, it's the support system. Your support system should really be empowering you as well as a woman. So I think most of the questions were answered already and were looked into. the others a while, or you may send an email to our panel speakers. At this time, being mindful of your time, we would like to request our participants to scan the QR code visible on the screen for direct access to the post-evaluation survey. Their feedback is immensely valuable to us, and all the participants will be receiving their certificates via email. And together, we're not just witnesses, but active participants in shaping a more inclusive and innovative future. And this pilot episode of ZTalks has been a testament to the strength, resilience, and leadership of women around the globe. And at this juncture, I'd like to present the certificate of appreciation to all the panel discussants for imparting valuable insights and inspiration to the participants during this pilot episode of ZTalks, our quarterly women leadership talk here in the Philippine Society for Quality this January 10 of 2025, signed of course by our president, Dr. Ria Liza C. The Philippine Society for Quality awards the certificate of appreciation to Dr. Ria Liza C. Canlas. Thank you so much, Dr. Moneeba Iftikhar, Ms. Michelle Alarcon, and Ms. Arlene Romasanta. And at this juncture, we'll be going to this section of the ZTalks, Woman Manifesting Leadership segment of ZTalks. This is a space where inspiration meets action. And in this special segment, we'll dive into key takeaways from the empowering discussions on breaking barriers, women leaders in women industries. So the takeaway for this one is, of course, women overcoming challenges, mentoring people, advocating and navigating. So as a woman leader, we have to share inspiring stories of resilience and determination. And I have learned so much, and I have been inspired by all the experiences of our 4 trailblazer speakers. And I'm sure that all our participants online and on this via Zoom are also inspired of the different stories that they have shared, that on how they were able to overcome barriers in male-dominated fields through perseverance and the clear vision of their goals. And second, as they have mentioned, there is always an opportunity for growth. We have to empower industries, create more women leaders, create leaders who can provide access to resources, as Ms. Michelle has mentioned a while ago. We have to prioritize creating inclusive opportunities, ensuring that women have access to leadership role, professional development, and equal representation. And as to mentorship mentorship, they have mentioned something about continually assisting women to build on their credentials. So that is one of the key tools or critical tools for breaking barriers. We have to foster career growth by empowering ourselves, building our credentials, and looking for mentors who can really help us. And advocating movements like the purple movement of the PRIA, the one being facilitated by Ma'am Arlene and Ms. Michelle, and also our global researcher, Dr. Moneeba. So these are all important to ensure that our women have a place in this industry. And lastly is we have to continuously navigate the future as women. We have to embrace the skills needed to thrive in this very challenging society, like being adaptable, innovative, and collaborating with the different people, even though this is a male-dominated industry. We need, as mentioned by Ma'am Arlene, we have to keep them as an ally, as a support, as a as a supporter or as a support, no, as support in all our endeavors. So thank you so much for all those inspiring stories. And this takeaway from this day encapsulates the essence of the entire discussion, celebrating resilience and the potential of women leaders in shaping the future of emerging industries. So let's continue to manifest leadership, innovation, and inclusivity one story at a time. And your stories truly have inspired a lot of us. Thank you so much. Once again, let's
It's
give
really
them
a player.
one round of applause. Thank you so much, Dr.
Okay.
Moneeba, everyone. So allow me
Thank you.
first to introduce the Philippine Society for Quality. These flash on your screen. We are, as I mentioned, PSQ, and this outline our mandate and activities for the rest of the year. We have been established on May 17, 1969 in collaboration with the Productivity Development Center. And we have about 64 charter members. We stand as a distinguished national organization operating as a non-stock nonprofit entity. And we have embraced a legacy and unwavering commitment to excellence. We actively participate in spectrum of activities, and we invite women in all our activities. We ensure that we have diverse panel and speakers in all our activities. And also flash on your screen is the vision and mission of the society. In this dynamic and ever evolving landscape, we stand as a beacon, helping individuals, guiding individuals and organizations toward the pinnacle of quality. And if anyone is interested to be part of our organization, please feel free to reach our secretariat or visit our website and our social media pages for more details. And that wraps up today's empowering session of ZTalks, dubbed as Breaking Barriers, Women Leaders in Emerging Industries. And we hope you leave today feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to break barriers on your own. And our heartfelt thanks to our incredible speakers, Dr. Ria, Dr. Moneeba, Miss Michelle, Miss Arlene, for sharing your journey. Thank you so much for sharing your insights, for sharing your strategies to succeed in these emerging technologies. And to our audience tuning in around the world, for joining as well and for being part of this important dialogue. This is just the beginning of our PSP Quarterly Women Leadership Talk series, as mentioned by Ms. Michelle. Let's continue to care. Thank you so much for that one, Ma'am Arlene. So let's stay connected. Let's follow one another for more updates on women endeavors, and also please follow us for updates on the future episodes of Z Talk. And let's continue this conversation, championing women leaders and inspiring inclusive innovation. So until next time, keep breaking barriers and leading boldly. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
It's really
Thank
a
you
much.
so
Thank
pleasure.
you.
much.
It's a pleasure. And see you once again.
See you. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Thank you.
much. Nice
Thank
seeing you.
you.
Okay, bye. Take care.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Thank you.